Hello everyone, today I'm going to be teaching you how to make an animated door. And this is for people who want to make a game inspired by Piggy, which actually is inspired by Granny, which most people probably don't know, but Piggy's based off Granny. Anyways, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about how to make the animated door from Piggy. You probably play Piggy. It's an animated door is pretty much when you open the door, you just click it and it will automatically open, making like animation. Yeah, so I'm gonna start building it. Okay, so okay, so I think I've done all the basic parts. We have our walls, we have our doors, we have these outlines. Yeah, we have these outlines. Okay, so I also added a weld to the doorknob. I'm not sure if it will actually work with the tween, but it's worth a try, I guess. Okay, so let's add in a script. So, oh yeah, I'm so sorry. We actually gotta do the placeholders first, which, well, what I mean placeholders is, you'll see in a bit. So let's call this door closed. So this will be the position of when the door is closed. So here's my plan. What we're gonna do is we're gonna have two different placeholders, one for when it's closed and one for when it's opened. And we will tween to the C-frame of them. Okay, so we have our door closed. Let's duplicate that. Let's call it door opened now. Okay, so now let's rotate that at 90 degrees. Okay, so now we want to make it towards it will open. So let's probably, let's see, let's do it over here, just like actually. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now we have our placeholders. Now we want to add in an open sound and a closed sound. The reason why we need two sounds instead of just using the same sound is because some people might want to use an open sound and a closed sound because they might sound different. So let's just do door opened. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, I found this one Roblox player who's done these door things like locker open. Yeah, all these stuff. So I want to do door open too. Let's use that. So let's just call this open. open. Okay, so we're just going to put that to the door, and we want to put a close too. If you want to do one sound, then you can do that. So the reason why this might sound the same, but this one's a higher pitch and this one's a lower pitch, you might, okay, here's the difference. There are different sounds. I can hear it. I don't know if you can hear the difference, but yeah. Okay, so now we want to add a click detector. So let's just make the max activation distance 10. So you can only click it from a range of 10, which might be, actually you have to be at least 5 studs from the door and for you to do it. I think that's how it works. Or okay, so now we got all the basic parts done. Let's just group this because why not? Okay, so okay, I'm actually going to unanchor this because probably, I don't know. So let's just, now we want to make a script. Okay, so I'm gonna start with variables. I'm probably gonna separate the variables from maybe 3 different parts. So the first set of variables will be the objects. So let's just do local door equals script.parent.door. Okay, so we got our door. Now we want to do local door closed, or we can do close placeholder equals script.parent.door closed, and we can just do the same thing but with open. So we can do open, and then we can do open door, wait, door opened. Okay, there we go. So now we want to do the click detectors and the sounds. So let's see, local click detector equals door dot click detector, and we can do now the sound. So local close sound equals door dot close, and now let's do open sound. So open, so we can do open. Okay, there we go. So now we have our object variables. Now I'm gonna do the next set of variables which will be the determine stuff, like the debounce or the check if it's open or not. So let's just do local debounce. I made a tutorial about debounce. You should probably learn about that if you haven't already, but you should probably finish this video first. So let's just do true. So now we can do local, let's do is closed equals true. So okay, actually let's do is opened, and which we will set to false because it's closed. Okay, so now we got to do with the tweening for the last set of variables. So you can do local tween service equals game get service tween service, but you don't have to really do that. You could just do game.tween service just like that. Okay, so let's do local info equals tweeninfo.new, and what tweeninfo does, it makes how the tween will work. Like, will it just be linear, or will it ease in and then ease out or not, stuff like that, or like how long the tween will make. That's what tweeninfo does. So let's say 0.5, and so we need to do the easing style. So do nm.easing style, and there's a lot of easing styles. I want to do, let's do quad. Let's actually make this one. Let's see how that works. So now we do the easing direction. Let's just do in out. That way it eases both ways. So number repeat count. This is how much times the tween will repeat, and we do not want this tween. We do not want the door to repeat repeatedly open, so we're just going to set that to false or 0. Now bool reverses. Okay, so what bool reverses does is it makes it towards if you set bool reverses to true, then it will reverse it. So the tween will actually take half the time, and the other half of the time it will reverse back. But we don't want that either, so we're going to set that to false. And the delay time is pretty much the delay time. We're just going to set that to 0. So now we got our info. So we're going to do local closed properties equals, and we're going to make a table. Now what I mean properties is the properties, these properties. So for a tween to work, you have to have a properties table. So you want to make a table. So for this to work, inside the table goes the what the finished tween is. So if you want the finished tween to be a bigger size, you can change the size of it. Or if you want to make it, or if you want to change the position to this position, you just put in that position. So it will, at the end of the tween, it will go to that position. That's how it works. I got confused the first time on this, but you might be confused as well. But yeah, you can probably try and understand, I guess. Okay. Anyways, we want to change the C-frame, and what C-frame is it's pretty much like vector 3 or position. It's pretty much position and orientation or rotation. It's those two combined. So this is going to be easy. So we're just going to do C-frame equals C-frame dot, or not C-frame. So we want to do close placeholder dot C-frame. So our C-frame will change. So we just mainly want to change the rotation and position. So it will change the rotation and position. So we don't have to do two different properties. You can add in more properties, like you can do brick color equals brick color dot black. So tweening can also tween color. So it can make a color sequence without actually doing. Yeah, it can make an auto, or it can make a color sequence without you actually doing a color sequence. But we just want to change C-frame. So now we want to do opened properties. So we just do open placeholders. Let's actually remove the. Okay, there we go. So now we want to do, let's do close tween equals game.tween service create, and what create is, it creates a tween. So the instance is the first variable, and it's pretty much what object you want it to tween. For us, we want the door to tween. And now the info, which we put our info. Okay, and now our properties. This is a closed tween, so we want to do our closed properties. And now we do the same thing for open tween. We just do open properties, and there we go. Now we have our two tweens ready. Now all we had to do is actually do the functions. Okay, so let's do click detector dot mouse click connect function. Okay, so now we got that function. We need to detect if, so we want to do our debounce stuff. So debounce is pretty much a cooldown. So let's do if, we're going to set debounce to false, and now we can do if is opened, then we can do, okay, actually let's do if not is opened, meaning if is open is equal to false. Okay, so let's do then. I'm trying to think right now. This is my first time recording today, so if not is okay. So we just do the open tween we just do the open. Dang it. Okay. Okay. So open tween play, and this is we just do play. We'll play the tween. Okay. So we can do else, meaning if it is already open, then we can just do close tween play. And I almost forgot to do the sound, so we can do open sound play, and now we can do close sound play, and then we just do our cooldowns, which is 1 second, and then we set debounce to true again so it can repeat. And I almost forgot to do is opened equals not is opened, meaning that if is opened is equal to false, then it will turn into true, and then, or if this was true, then it will turn to false. Okay, so now this should be able to work. Let's test this. Let's see what happens. And as you can see, it's working, which this is not working, the doorknob. You should probably maybe make a union for that. But anyways, as you can see, it's working. We have our animated door. So that's what we wanted to accomplish today. And I'm probably gonna remove this doorknob. You can probably, I thought I unanchored that, but oh, okay. So let's test this again. I just want to see if the doorknob's actually working. It's probably gonna glitch out the door, which is not. Okay, so good news, we got the doorknob working. All you have to do is just make it unanchored and add a weld to the door, and make sure the door, everything else is anchored except the doorknob, which I probably should do the doorknob the other way around.